Hello everyone, I'm Jensen. Today is Thursday, April 8th, and from a federal push for more gun control to another COVID-19 update from Governor Mike DeWine, I have all the stories you need to know to get in the loop today. But first, I do want to talk about the weather because it was dreary and super rainy out there today, and I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. But don't take it from me, let's hear what's ahead with our First Alert weather team.
The most likely spot to pick up a heavier rain is going to be the western counties, Defiance, Williams up into Hillsdale. And now I've added the arrows on for tomorrow because the wind is what you'll be noticing during the course of the day. And the closeness of these arrows indicates an increase in the strength of the wind. Out of the due south, it's going to turn gusty tomorrow. 30 to 35 mile per hour gust not out of the question. So a very breezy day to a bit of a windy day. Clouds will be zooming past overhead, but there's only a slight chance of a rain shower during the day tomorrow. Rain will become more likely over the weekend. But now watch this with me here, and I'll run the clock overnight to Saturday morning and stop it there. Saturday morning, there could be a number of hours of dry weather and even a little of sunshine coming through. But once we get to the afternoon, the chance of rain showers will increase, and some of those could have some heavier downpours in them. So any plans Saturday afternoon, you're going to have to be a little bit flexible for the possibility of heavier rain showers zooming through the area and picking up as the afternoon goes on. Tonight, scattered showers, rumble of thunder still possible. 52 will be the low. Tomorrow, breezy with only a slight chance of a shower, but the wind will get you. It's going to drive the high up into the middle 70s, maybe even upper 70s. And on Saturday, showers developing with downpours a possibility. The high should be right around 70 there. Sunday dropping back to 60. Could be a completely overcast day on Sunday with a 60% chance of rain. And then through the rest of our 10-day forecast, it's relatively cool. It's not that far from what is normal, but certainly far from the way the weather has been here the last few days.
And a 7-year-old boy was sadly killed in a Wood County car crash this morning. Rescue crews responded to a report of a single vehicle crash on Bradner Road near Sugar Ridge Road just after 8 a.m. The initial investigation found the vehicle left the roadway and struck a ditch culvert. 7-year-old Cameron Fredericks was pronounced dead at the scene. 3 other passengers were injured and taken to the hospital. They were 26-year-old Nathaniel Rivera, 30-year-old Monica Epley, and 6-year-old Brielle Fredericks. The crash is still under investigation by the Wood County Sheriff's Office, and we will, of course, continue to keep you updated. And Toledo police are investigating 2 homicides from overnight, the first of which occurred outside of Andrea's Sports Pub in West Toledo. Toledo police say the incident began inside the bar as a fight and moved to the parking lot shortly before 11:30 p.m. The victim, later identified as 33-year-old Scott Hopings, was shot and died after being transported to the hospital. According to a coroner's report, Hopings was shot a total of 11 times. Police are still looking for the person responsible. And at around 1 a.m., police responded to yet another homicide, this time on the 200 block of Garland. Officers arrived on the scene to find the victim, 59-year-old Guadalupe Finesca, lying in the street. According to police, Finesca suffered from at least 1 stab wound, and it appeared he had also been hit by a car. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Detectives responded and opened up an investigation and later determined that the suspect, identified as 30-year-old Kenneth Montano, fled the scene in a car that belonged to someone in Finesca's family. Montano reportedly crashed that vehicle near the intersection of Woodville and Elmore and fled that scene on foot. Several hours later, Toledo police were notified that Montano was in the emergency room, and after he was released from the hospital, officers took him into custody. Court records state that while in the hospital, Montano allegedly told several witnesses that he had stabbed the victim. Montano was booked into the Lucas County Correction Center and charged with murder. If you have any information regarding either of these incidents, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 419-255-1111. And an increase in community spread of COVID-19 has been reported in Lucas County. In fact, Lucas came in second today out of all 88 Ohio counties for the most cases per 100,000 people over the last 2 weeks, with exactly 300. That's 3 times the CDC threshold for high incidence. And the top spot was Hancock County with 336 cases per 100,000 people. For the state as a whole, this number is on the rise as well, with 183.7 today, straying further from the goal of reaching 50. As a reminder, the governor said before that once we hit that number, all public health orders in the state will be dropped. And Ohio Department of Health Chief Medical Officer Dr. Bruce Vanderhoff seems to think that a lot of this spike can be attributed to an increase in activity in those COVID-19 variants. And the majority of these variant cases seem to be attributed to the strain first discovered in the UK, which is formally known as B.1.1.7, which Vanderhoff said is not only more contagious, but research has indicated that it could be more deadly. In fact, he said he believed that in a matter of weeks, the B.1.1.7 variant could become the dominant COVID-19 strain in the state. For some perspective into how these variants are spreading, on March 12th, Ohio's variant count was at 92. On Thursday, Vanderhoff reported 797 variant cases in the state. This makes for a doubling time of every 9 to 10 days, similar to what was seen during the winter surge in the UK. But Vanderhoff explained that the surge here in Ohio is happening in a much better context than what was happening in the UK this winter because of the state's successful vaccination effort and a strong track record of masking in public. And the state is finding ways to make the vaccine more readily available. Starting Monday, vaccine providers will be able to partner with other organizations like employers, labor unions, churches, and so on to hold closed-pod vaccine clinics. DeWine encouraged employers and those other organizations to reach out to their local health departments and vaccine providers to set up these vaccine clinics. But vaccine providers and health departments are also expected to be proactive in contacting local employers. DeWine also encouraged health departments to reach out to local high schools to help set up vaccinations for eligible students who want to get their shot. As of today, 33.48%, or roughly a third of Ohioans were reported to have received at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. And President Joe Biden, in his first gun control measures since taking office, announced today half a dozen new executive actions that are aimed at addressing gun violence in the country. Here's a quick look at just some of what was promised today. The Justice Department within 30 days will issue a proposed rule to help stop the proliferation of ghost guns. Now, these so-called ghost guns are homemade firearms that are usually assembled from parts and milled with a metal cutting machine and often lack serial numbers used to trace them. It's legal to build a gun in a home or a workshop, and there's no federal requirement for a background check. The Justice Department will issue a proposed rule requiring such gun kits be treated as firearms under the Gun Control Act, which would then require that the parts be made with serial numbers and that buyers receive background checks. Next, the Justice Department within 60 days will publish model red flag legislation for states. Now, according to the White House website, red flag laws allow family members or law enforcement to petition for a court order temporarily barring people in crisis from accessing firearms if they present a danger to themselves or others. Biden urged Congress to pass a national red flag law, as well as legislation incentivizing states to pass red flag laws of their own. In the meantime, Biden said he believes the Justice Department's published model legislation will make it easier for states that want to adopt red flag laws to do so. And one more key part of today's briefing, the Justice Department will issue an annual report on firearms trafficking. The administration says this hasn't been done in more than 2 decades. Now, this is just a look at some of the initiatives announced today. So for a closer look at everything announced, check out the link in the description of this video. And before I go, I really just need to share this bizarre story out of Cincinnati because the visuals are really what's getting me through the day today. Police are on the lookout for about 5 monkeys that are on the loose in the city and have been searching since this morning. Officers received a call about the monkeys spotted in a cemetery Wednesday night around 10 p.m. And witnesses said some of the primates were about 5 feet tall, but of different breeds. Now, the monkeys apparently didn't come from the Cincinnati Zoo, but officers did reach out to the zoo to help them round them up. It's believed that the monkeys could actually be from some kind of private collection. But so far, there have been no first-hand accounts of these monkeys, so is it a hoax? Is it real? We'll work to find out. But that's all I have for you today. If you like this video, hit that like button, and of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Jensen, and now you're in the loop.